What's up guys, welcome to today's video. So this is going to be the last day that Jordan is in town, and he promised me he would come by and take another look at the car. We were having some throttle body issues, so the next thing we're going to do is actually just swap the throttle body. We did the adaptations, reset, didn't really do much, and apparently the throttle bodies just go bad. So Mikey over in Davenport lent me his throttle body so I can make the most of today while Jordan's here, and then I'm just going to order a new one from FCP Euro, but I'm going to take the old one off right now. If you guys hear me complaining about the drone on this car all the time, we are planning on eventually just redoing this back section where it Y's off. And instead of this thing, we're gonna have a section that'll have like a muffler up here or inline resonator and up here, which should help a lot considering I already have one right here. Oh my god. Do you see that, dude?
No. What did you do?
You see it?
Not yet.
You see what I'm looking at?
No.
It's an N54.
Yuck.
Yuck. One of the few benefits of a BMW is that it has these weird little like clampy things here, so you don't have to worry about a coupler or any sort of annoying clamp. It's just like a snap ring that you pop out and it seals pretty well, and then I should just have like 4 bolts for this throttle body and I can replace it. Hopefully I can get enough room without having to I probably have to take this charge pipe off. Almost got this thing off. Now, I think we have something interesting here. If you look, we've got a connector that like broke. Or so it seems. I feel like this should release and it doesn't. So while I have the throttle body off, I figured I'd look real quick and see how bad my intake valves look. On these cars, when you don't have port injection, you don't have anything kind of keeping the valves clean because it sprays the fuel directly into the cylinder. So they get really bad, like carbon sludgy buildup. It's gonna be kind of hard to see on this camera, but so it definitely looks like we could use a walnut blasting. I did actually have it done around like 60,000. No, I think it was around like 75,000 miles I had it done on this car. But I did run it with the twin turbos without a catch can or anything for a while after the fact. So it looks like it's due. I'm gonna take a photo and show this to the PSI guys. They're gonna get a kick out of this. So this is kind of what contributes a lot to that like weird kind of like stumbly idle and everything. But I think it's a pretty easy job that they do fairly often. Meanwhile, the R34 saga continues, and Johan is diving into probably one of the next most annoying things to do on the project. We went a little extra and had all the parts from the front axles powder coated. I believe they had some leaky or torn boots, so we wanted to rebuild them, and might as well powder coat them while we're rebuilding them. These are all the parts that we got from Terra Firma for the axle rebuild stuff. He's gonna do one, and then we'll film and kind of show you guys the process. Mr. N54 himself just got here.
I'm back, baby.
Yo, congrats on the record.
Thank you.
You want to tell the story of what it took to get the record? That's the M3 record or the S55 record?
S55, like M3, M4, fastest and quickest. It was pretty good. After leaving here, after countless late nights that you guys, I feel like saw half of it, I left. We went to the track on Friday and broke a transmission like right off the rip. I had to fly down one of my employees with the spare clutches, hit up Alpha from Induction Performance to use his shop. We used his shop, pulled the old trans out, played Top Golf for like 3 hours while we waited for the my employee to come with the clutches. Went, put the trans back in, went to the track. I messed up a bunch of things while doing the trans on like no sleep. So we fixed the things I messed up over the course of the day. It went from a 990 to a 980, 70, 40, all the way down to a 9.1, which is the current now record. I think we'll go even faster too. It definitely has 8s in it. I just need to get the car go out the hole better. But it works. Set the record. So quickest, fastest, higher powered.
Those are your numbers right here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congrats. That's huge.
Thank you.
It definitely has the 8 in it. More nitrous.
But it works. No nitrous, no spray. Pretty fast.
This thing, as I said, Jordan stopped by and grabbed me another throttle body. I'm gonna get a new one of these from FCP, but for the meantime, we're gonna see if this gets rid of our weird throttle issues. What else are we gonna do? Turn the boost up?
Yeah, sure. Turn the boost up.
Yeah, needs to spin in third.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm hyped.
Alright, so before we even go out, it is confirmed that throttle body fixed the weird issue we were having, but we did realize that no lift shift was not working the entire time. I have a watt box on this car, which like cuts ignition and makes the big pops and bangs, and we had to like update it and lost the settings. So we were actually just relying on MHD's no lift shift, which is more of just like a, how do you put it? No lift shift.
When you hit the limiter, it cuts down. It gives like a 150 RPM
balance before it reinstates, which is good enough to no lift shift sort of decently, but it's not crazy violent.
We just want to make it pop and bang.
He said pop and bang 75 times. Like, we're gonna have a pop and bang. Yeah.
We'll try it, see if it works. If it gets misfires, at least we know it works without it, right?
No code so far. I mean, it seems to be running decent.
It did have that one weird little like blurby though.
It did. It did do one thing weird, but the data log showed that like it was in the rev limiter range for a long time, like almost a second. But it didn't look like it.
Yeah.
It looked like it was still going up there, just misfiring.
So we could always turn on the watt box limiter too, which is just changes the limiter style.
And set the other limiter in the ECU way higher.
Yep.
And just rely only on pops and bangs to really just burn this thing down.
Do you still hate N54s?
No, they're fabulous.
Lying straight through your teeth.
I had one. I really enjoyed driving it. I really did. It was like a very similar power, maybe a hair later spool, like a journal bearing 6266, and I really liked it. And then like I did dumb things on the dyno, didn't put a vacuum line on a wastegate. Next thing you know, ruined it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was my own stupidity. But I mean, I really liked it. I feel like most, like your car, it threw a throttle body code. We bought a throttle body. It worked. We'll get back to this. Probably not. Jesus. It definitely hits harder when you do it like that. It's not just a shift. It's like it gives you a little jolt after the shift, which is completely not needed or good for anything probably. But it hits like significantly harder.
I can make the pops and bangs now, bro.
Now you can make the pops and bangs.
Yo, we out here, bro.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, the throttle's like good. I mean, at one point we hit the limiter real hard and close it here, but like every shift is open.
Yeah, when I hang on limiter, it gets mad.
Yeah, it does weird shit.
Do you think it's something to do with the port injection? Maybe it goes rich because it stays in the limiter too long?
It has some sort of safety when it deactivates cylinders. It deactivates, I think, coils too, versus normally keeps firing. So normally on port injection, when you have,
do you think maybe it would be better if we set the watt box limiter so then it can't hit that limiter?
You could try it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how it used to be before.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what's better for the motor.
Yeah.
But I mean, what will work better for you is probably having the limiter only on the watt box.
Yeah, because that's
But like, this is, I think, cutting things in a way that's smooth and won't damage anything ever, and they won't rock things this way. As weird as it is when you sit on it for a while. I mean, solutions don't sit on it for a while, but obviously, like, it's in second gear, and if you don't stay in throttle, you're gonna like the wheel speed just be nothing by the time you shift.
Yep.
So I get the reason why you're doing it. It makes sense. So you can try it.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Let's see how the limiter works.
Oh, that sounds way bad.
Yeah. No, but it didn't hit that.
What?
It didn't seem like it hit the watt box.
We'll try again in a second. I think
wonder
your
if the
tag,
coils. Maybe the watt box rev limiter is just off enough, you know?
I think I think when it spins, the RPMs go up more than that's really showing right away. Because before it was showing 7,500, that shit was literally doing weird shit like.
But it didn't used to do this before, so I wonder if we're like running into a spark issue or a coil issue, you know?
I mean, these are old, random, questionable coils that I grabbed a handful of.
It sounds like a coil issue, right?
For sure, yeah. If you were in gear and it did it, I would say coil issue. But it's strange that it's only in the rev limiter range.
Yeah. That sounded like the right limiter. Does it tell you what my IATs are, Jordan?
Yeah, fine.
Should I get one of those headlights that has a hole in it?
What? I don't know. Do you drive a car night time? Do you care?
I don't know.
Is that a BMW thing to do?
No, just for the intake, so it doesn't just get hot air.
I know.
The intake feels like it's 180 degrees.
I mean, the headlight is right there.
30 pounds of boost. Works good enough.
It works pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, we have been beating the crap out of it for a while. So,
Yeah, it works pretty solid.
thank you for coming.
No problem. My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Like Chick-fil-A. way.
Thank you guys for badgering him on social media, making this happen.
Yeah, thank you.
Wasn't it your girl that kind of forced you to come today?
Yeah, so I was like, every night, I was here till 1, 2, 3 a.m. like every night, and my girl was like, you should just work on your car, because you're the vet, and just go there on Monday. And I was like, oof. And I was like, no, it's not a bad idea. Now, I guess, due to me not sleeping that much, I didn't tell her we were coming here Monday. So like 2 days ago, she's like, oh, when do we leave? I was like, well, we gotta book a flight out of Orlando. And she's like, for what? I was like, this is your idea. She's like, oh, no, it was, but like, yeah, so thanks to her, I actually made it, I guess, and made it where it is. But I'm pretty happy. It works pretty good.
Yeah.
If you drive it, enjoy it. Just don't hit me up ever. Any N54 customers, please. Anyone else out there, I got what you need.
Who should they go to if they have N54 problems?
Wedge tuning. See, that's who gave me like the base tune for this. I made little minor things here and there, adjustment-wise, but they're like the N54 go-to. Wedge tuning with MHD.
Thank you again, bro.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
We're done with the fab on the car for the most part. We got the intake to be done, but that's gonna be very last thing we do. So the next thing that we could do while the car is an idle is to tackle the axles. We got new CV boots, clamps, caps, and grease. It comes in a kit. This side goes on this side, and this side goes on that side. This joint will come in like this and go into the cup. So yeah, this cup doesn't go in through the top, so you gotta have to remember, you see, there's an order of procedure on how this goes in. So I'll put this on, we'll show you how that goes in, then put the C clap on, and then I'll slide this one through here, put the grease in the thing, put the boot on, and woof out of there. All right, so as I remember, there's a dust cover, grease that keeps all the grease from popping out. So what I'll do is I'll put some grease on it just to put it in. But since I have access through this side, I can fill it up with grease once everything's in. So. So these clamps from Nissan are pretty good, you know, sometimes, but this is why it's important you put them in before you put both sides in. Or if you do one side at a time, then that's fine, but make sure that, because you can't split them open, like they don't split apart. So you put them in, then you turn this like this, go down, and then you press those down. That's it. Then you tap it with a hammer so you seal, and that's good. The axle boot has a line from like molding that will help you center, and then you do the same thing. Nah, boy.
It wasn't me.
One side.
Done.
All right, so the other side that goes into the hub of the wheel, there's this cup here that this goes in. You're gonna notice there's this recess and then there's a flat. So the recess area goes through the wider side. You have to force it in, but it will go in. And then you just make sure that, because it turns, it could turn whatever side, just make sure that you got the bigger inside diameter facing up like this. And then when you put this in to the cup, there's a bigger window. There's two bigger windows on this cup, here and then here. So now this is the time you gotta pay attention to what you're doing. If you forget to put the boot in, it's fine, you could take it back out, but then you have to take all this out again, which is annoying. Yeah, tedious. This clamp could stay out because you still could put it in even if the actual hub is in, and there's a groove here that will help you know where the axle boot actually stops. Add some grease into this side. I'll tap it, and then that's it. So just remember to do that. Now everything's seated in there. Now I can fill up this whole thing with grease, slide it up. So as I'm sitting here trying to put this clamp down, Nabo pointed out, it's like, hey, so where does these bearing balls go? And I was like, oh, well, we forgot to put this on this hub. So got it out. The way to put this in is gonna require some tapping with the hammer and all this. Tap it like that until you have enough clearance to slide one in, and then you tap it back up in place, and then you keep doing that all around into all of them are in. All right, so now it's all good. We didn't forget all balls, they're all in there. All right, all the bearings are in there. Now we could put it back in place, time the clamp back up. Good thing these clamps are the way they are, because I was able to unclip them. Now put it back in the same way, and we're good.
Alright, you guys really want to see this car back on the LM, so I'm going to test fit it because this car's had a lot of changes since I used to run the LMs. It's higher, I have less camber, and I'm trying to fit a tire that I can actually put the power down. So these LMs have been in storage forever. I refuse to sell them, but they were very aggressive back when I had them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit those with a bigger tire. Maybe. I'm going to test fit it to see. You notice something about this, Mike?
What?
It's a BMW.
Oh, you did the conversion. I see. Smart boy.
Yep. I don't know, bro. I would have such poke if I tried to fit a 285 on that.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of doing, but it would be so complicated, would be to like put the fronts in the rear and then put a wider barrel on them.
Yeah.
But then I'm screwed for fronts. It was already a nightmare trying to get these in this spec. I literally bought like the last LM that BBS had and had to like steal a barrel because mine was cracked, and it was a nightmare because you couldn't buy the barrels anymore. Bummer. All right, now we've opened some Plasma Man intake manifolds before, and we got a lot of builds coming up. So we got a bulk shipment. Let's dive inside. I'm pretty sure this one is for the S15. I want to open this up and have Freddie talk about it with me, because we definitely did some stuff a little bit different than we've done in the past with it.
Trying to be fancy out here with that.
Sealed hardware, throttle body, fuel rail. What is this, a burst plate?
Idle control valve port.
Oh, we got that?
In case we want to do like an anti-lag.
Okay. So, as always, Plasma Man makes beautiful stuff. We've been using it on pretty much all the builds lately, and I wanted to get one for the S15. It is pretty much their standard run-of-the-mill 2JZ intake manifold, but what's notably different about it, kind of an ugly thing if you want to say, a lot of people choose to put the vacuum lines on the bottom. We chose to put them on the top for serviceability. That was pretty much the main reason, right?
Yeah, last year it was kind of annoying we couldn't get to those lines without pulling the intake first and then take the lines off. So it was a little annoying to work on.
So if we got to pull the intake manifold or change anything on grid or have a 5-minute call, it'll make it a lot easier. And then on the bottom, we have an IAC provision, but it's not actually for an IAC. And Freddie can kind of explain. I don't know if we're going to necessarily do any anti-lag stuff, but...
No, first we'll try to make the transient response work well with nitrous, but if you say it's a little laggy or whatnot, then we'll do an anti-lag with an idle control valve. So we have a flat surface on the bottom of the intake where we're going to drill and tap these direct port nozzles. They'll have to face one way, so we'll have to be careful on tapping them so we don't go too far and they face the wrong way and they're tight. This will be for the direct port nitrous. These will kind of stick in the intake a little bit and shoot nitrous into each runner, well, each cylinder head port.
And that just helps ensure that you get the same amount of nitrous per cylinder rather than before. What we were doing, you're kind of limited to the amount of nitrous you can run because you're spraying it around like the throttle body area, and then who knows kind of which runner it's going to go to, and I don't know. That's more important. Where were we? Where did we have the nitrous jet before? Was it kind of in the charge pipe or was it like in the throttle body?
It was like maybe 3 to 4 inches away from the throttle body.
Let's go see what it's going to look like. It might fit, but I don't. Yeah, I don't want to scratch it. We'll take this off and we'll move this before I put it on.
Oh no, solenoids are in the way now. We move the nitrous solenoids out the way.
Third time's a charm.
This is why we wanted the intake manifold now, so while we're kind of redesigning the car during the off season, if anything else needs to move, we can move it. There we go. At first I was definitely more of a polished boy than a brushed boy, but I feel like we've kind of learned that the polish really only looks good if it's a show car. When it's getting taken off and constantly replaced, the polish just gets scratched up and it doesn't really look that good. Where we've really been liking the brush finish because it kind of stays nice.
Right, or if you have like a bunch of other polished stuff in there as well.
We got billet valve covers coming, Mike. Looks sick. All right, we got a lot of intake manifolds. You guys are probably wondering what all of them are. So this one was actually a Christmas gift to Shipment that I already told him about because I didn't want to look like a bad friend on Christmas. Freddie wanted me to open it so he could check some things out. So Freddie helped me spec this one for Shipment. This is obviously a 1J non-VVTi intake manifold. What's he going on? He's gone. Okay, back to work. That was a close one. He knows that this is here. He's been waiting for us to open. I'm like, nope, Shipment, not today. We gotta film it. Boom. Shipment's gonna be legit as heck now.
Give him a little.
You gotta put it more prominent. See, we're good friends. Bad friends would be doing this to the outside. We're doing it on the inside.
You will never know. Just number 6 will run a little funny.
That was the best. So intake manifolds were kind of a common Christmas present theme. I got Freddie a carbon fiber CSL box for his M3. I got Johan a Plasma Man intake manifold for his Supra, but his didn't come in yet, unfortunately. His is stuck in the arms of an Australian kangaroo right now. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and more coming because the big news is that I'm officially a Plasma Man dealer. So I wanted to stock especially some of the RB manifolds that they make, just because whenever I've had an RB, it's always a nightmare trying to find somewhere that has an intake manifold in stock. And I really, really like their design. I think they have a great product. And I'm super picky about the stuff that I sell on my site, and I'm super excited to have it. So I'm gonna show you guys the first batch that I have to offer on the site that will be available right now with the link in the description, except for one, because technically speaking, I do already have a customer intended for this one. Because I already gave him one, he has to pay for this one, so we'll see if he wants to buy it. Hey, Freddie! You told me to order it?
Yeah, but then I backed out of it.
I know, but I was convinced that you were going to still end up building the car and then buy it from me.
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah. So anyway. This one is set aside for Freddie. We can open it anyway, though. Is this one black? Oh yeah, this one's black. We can see what a black one looks like.
Sick.
Pumped on that. Also, full disclaimer, if you guys do order one of these intake manifolds off the site and the box comes and looks like it's been opened once, that's because I am planning on opening every single one so we can get our own product shots of the actual intake manifold that we'll be selling and make sure that everything is in the box that we have listed as coming. So, cool example. We will have the option if you guys want to custom order one. Freddie wanted for his a drive-by-wire throttle body. So this is a Bosch drive-by-wire throttle body. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to unbox it, but it lets you do fancy things.
Dang.
Damn, look at Freddie with the heat.
That is so nice.
Yeah, the black is pretty cool.
That's so good.
Black looks sick.
I sell it to you right now. Make a good deal. Buy this from me.
See real life bartering with Adam and.
What's he gonna offer me?
Hang on, I don't know. I forgot like what people usually say like when you go like overseas market. You make me a good deal, yeah.
Is this item still available?
You
You get it? You
Yeah.
get it? God, I hate Facebook. This is nice though. Oh man, I'm so torn because I really want to like take a photo of all the intake manifolds on the table, but I'm terrified of mixing them up.
You know what they say? They always say, for you, I could do.
Yeah.
For you, $2,000. Yeah.
Is that what you do when you
Yeah.
went to JDM Orlando? Someone goes, yeah, I want to buy a 2JZ for $1,000. The other one goes, for you, $7,000.
Yeah. It's like you feel like you're getting a
That's
good
when
deal because it's he's saying specifically for you.
So that's
like,
where the Jay-Z tax came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johan started it.
I started it.
Back when people were selling for $1,500, homie was charging $7 grand. I've talked about this before. I don't want to unbox every single intake manifold, but there will be a list on the site of what we have available. One of my favorites is their RB25 setup, just because it has this neat little water rail that kind of keeps everything nice, simple, and tidy. You can see the water channels are actually in the flange. Then it goes up through this water rail instead of having some of the octopus stuff like the other intake manifolds on the market have. So that's really cool. Another cute little one, like this little SR20 guy. It's so cute. But anyway, yeah, a few of my friends I think might actually end up getting some of these, so I don't know if every single one that you saw in the video will be up on the site. The best way to find out is to check. All right guys, I know this video was kind of all over the place and there was a lot going on, but the most exciting news is that the clutch setup from Monster came with the new ring gear, so we should be able to get the Barra sequential running and driving in the next video. I'm way too excited. I've been waiting patiently and I cannot wait to drive that thing with a sequential and a manual. It's gonna be an awesome video. Freddie's here, he's gonna help wire some stuff up, and that's what you can look forward to in the next video. So I wanna thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out the intake manifolds on LZMFG. I'll have the link in the description along with more info, and I will see you soon.